la! Your dream vacation to Vietnam starts from rupees 39,999 only with GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
Hello Diganth, welcome to Galatta Plus. Very happy to finally meet you.
Finally.
Yeah, you know there's been Marigold, Bachelor Project, Judgment, Powder. Then you're going to be acting in Uttarakhand.
Yeah.
You know, when do you sleep? Are you the busiest actor in the Kannada film industry today?
No, probably not. But yeah, I've been God's been kind with so many projects, and I don't know. I think it's due to COVID also. You know, some of the projects I had taken up before COVID, and then it was a long break, and then that's why I have so many releases. Like Marigold was supposed to release in 2021. But then, yeah, COVID happened, and then there's a, long list of queue.
There's a long queue
yeah.
now, but now you're in a bit of a break.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
We can't help the way we look, right? Because this is part of how we are born, right? For example, a lot of articles about you or something, chocolate boy, doodh peda. Doodh peda is, of course, after your character. But, but the repeated way they refer to you is that, he's probably good for this urban city, rom-com, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
How long did it take for you to break that perception?
I'm still struggling. I don't think I've completely broken that. Probably with Uttarakhanda, the next project that I'm doing with Dhananjay, I think I'll get a break in terms of, getting away from that Doodh Peda name that has stuck with me. So let's see, I'm still trying to break that.
Right.
I haven't completely broken, but people have realized that I can do, versatile characters and, over the period of time. So let's see. I'm still keeping my fingers crossed.
So, there's a clip on the internet of just Mandya, your very, very first release. You and Darshan, you play his brother. Harsha, I think is your name.
Yeah.
So
I've forgotten. So.
But there's this very sweet clip where they've just cut out your bit alone from that movie and put it out as Diganth and Darshan. I was looking at it and then looking at the Diganth of today, and I'm like, what would this Diganth think of that performance or that look? You were like what, in your late teens or something?
Yeah, I was just 21, I think.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, 21.
You look like a kid.
Yeah. I was just off college, and then obviously I don't come from a filmy background, so I had no clue how to go about it. So I went around meeting people, directors, for asking them for chances, and that's how Mandya happened. And even Mungarumale for that matter. I've played a very small role in the movie, but luckily that movie became a massive hit.
A monster success. Yeah.
And then in Galipata, they made me one of the leads with Ganesh.
Yeah.
Ganesh was already a superstar after Mungarumale. And that's how my career started.
When you look back at that time, when was the time that you think you finally got the hang of acting for the camera?
Luckily, I met I worked with directors like Yograj Bhatt, and of course Ganesh as my co-star. And I learned a lot from these guys. And Yograj Bhatt made me the lead in his next movie after Galipata, which is Manasare.
Yeah.
So, and then again, the next year we did Pancharangi. That was again a big hit. So back to back 4 years I worked with Yograj Bhatt. And then Anantnag was there, you know. So,
he's another person you worked with a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah. Like what, 5 films?
Yeah, 6 films now.
6 films, yeah.
Recently I had one release last year called Timaya and Timaya. I had a grandfather and a grandchild. So anyway, I worked with Mr. Anantnag, and then, I think these things I learnt on the go. I never had a professional training or anything, or I come from a filmy background. And I learned everything on the...
So can you give me, obviously your first film, it's almost cute the way you're just standing there and reciting your dialogues, because that's all you're kind of like you're asked to do, right?
Yeah.
But can you give me an example of something that happened later in one of your later films, in the first batch of films, where you suddenly say, oh wow, that's what I'm supposed to do, or oh, that's how I'm supposed to act for a close-up, or something like that?
Yeah, those things luckily I worked with some good DOPs also. Ratnavelu was my Galipata DOP. So he used to come and tell me small things, this is the scoring part. Here you need to perform well. Long shot you don't have to really put in so much effort. But yeah, this is one shot you'll get claps from the audience or something like that. So he would tell me. So these things, even Anant Nag sir, he told me, when to really perform and when not to waste your energy. So those things I kept in mind.
What is that?
Like long shots, when you have long shots, you just have to be physically loud, but you don't have to be, your expression can
Emotionally
be...
you can be,
Yeah. But when you have close-ups, just give your 100%. Maybe take a couple of retakes, go and watch the monitor after the shot, but come back and give another take if you want, but do it there. Yeah, so these small things I learned, and then even certain things I couldn't do. I realized after 2013 also, after being in the industry for 6 years, I couldn't do it. Like I thought I could do action, but when there was a point where I had to be in an action sequence in the movie, and I realized I suck at it. My timing is all wrong, and then I'm not getting the choreography right.
Are you a good dancer?
I'm an average dancer.
Because if you're a good dancer, you do action well.
Action, it's all about the timing without,
Rhythm.
Hurting the other person.
Yeah.
And you have to, the hand has to be this close to the face. And then sometimes you miss it, and then that's it.
Which was the film that you did action first?
It's a remake of a Tamil movie called M10 Magan. I don't know. Yeah, M10 Magan. That movie I had action sequence, and then I could do backflips. I thought I could do action well because I have parkour skills, and then I can do acrobatics. So I thought I can do action, but then I was really bad at it. That's when I realized, okay, I need to learn this. I need to learn that.
Right. You have Powder coming up.
Yeah.
How does Diganth pick a movie? Like what do you look for?
Well,
because there are two aspects to it. Because I read an interview of yours from long ago where you said at one point you were working because there were bills to be paid and there were debts to be cleared.
And
then now they're all gone, and so now you look at it a little differently.
Yeah,
so what
definitely.
is it earlier? What is it now?
Earlier it used to be like either fill in the blanks or fill in the bank. Okay, fill in the blanks could be...
That's a good one. Yeah. You've been practicing this.
Fill in the blanks could be a great director or a great co-actor or great production house, like a KRG or whatever. So that's fill in the blanks. But sometimes like actor of my caliber or actor of my experience don't always get great projects, or I don't have the privilege to choose my projects. Okay, I'm not going to do this. I'm busy till 2 years. Next 2 years I'm busy. That doesn't happen with me. I mean, it hasn't happened with me. So I can't keep waiting for the right project to come my way. So I have taken some projects which, although I knew it's not going to work. Yeah, so I have done it in the past. But like I said, now I think financially I'm more stable, so I can pick my projects wisely and carefully. So Powder is one of them. Yeah. And it's with TVF.
Right.
Yeah.
So apart from the fact that it's a KRG and TVF collaboration, what drew you to the project?
Of course, the Janardhan Chikkana. He's a brilliant director. I've always admired his work. And plus the star cast in this movie, Powder. It's brilliant. Rangana Raghu is there. He's my favorite actor. I've worked with him in many films. And Aniruddhacharya, Sharmila Mandre, Danya. So I think it's a great star cast, So it's nice to be part of this.
Do you listen to narrations or do you read screenplays?
I used to read, but now I prefer narration. Because while reading, I think they've the script is on the Hollywood level, But now I sit through the narration.
Right.
For the better clarity.
When the narration of Powder happened, what was that spark that said, okay, this sounds like a really crazy and interesting project?
It's a new age cinema, It's about drugs, but they've shown it in a funny way. So I think I'm always pro new age cinema. I like the idea, I like the concept, and there's a little bit of hallucination happening in the cinema, and I love that part.
Nice. Now, with the exception of the odd Telugu movie or the odd Hindi film like Wedding Pulav, we have stuck largely to Kannada cinema. Is this because this is your comfort zone, or is it also because of you've gone out there? You also did Ramayan. Ram Yug, yeah.
Yeah, based on Ramayana,
Ramayana, yeah.
yeah.
But I'm saying the larger, like let's say about 80% of your work is in Kannada cinema.
Kannada, yeah.
Is that intentional or?
I mean, right now it's intentional because I love being in Bangalore at my comfort zone and with my partner, and I have a lot of dogs, so I want to be here. You know?
How many do you have?
I have 4 right now. So yeah, whenever I was in Bombay and I had a lot of work. I was doing back-to-back movies, and then I met with an accident, of course, while doing a movie called Ticket to Bollywood.
Right, and that was the spinal thing.
No, that was the eye thing.
Oh, the eye thing with
Eye
the
thing, yeah.
with the stiletto.
Yeah, with the stiletto. So that was a major setback, you know. And there was a quite a bit of buzz around when I moved to Bombay, and I was getting projects. But then that happened, and then 2 years I had to be at home. I couldn't work, neither there nor here. So that was a big setback. And then I realized, okay, now people are loving me in Kannada industry, and then I'm getting work. Might as well do something here than trying to be in Bombay and in Bollywood.
Right. You've had 2 major accidents, one the eye and then the spine. You know, when I interviewed Ranveer Singh around the time of Gully Boy, there was a time that he broke his back and he couldn't get up from bed, and he was lying on the bed, and he just kept looking at the ceiling and wondering if my dreams are, that's it, they're gone. Can I do something? Can I get up and dance? Can I get up and fight or something like that?
Yeah.
What was your frame of mind when these accidents happened?
Yeah, first accident, that eye incident happened. So after that, like, this happened in London. We were shooting in London, and this happened in London. And usually doctors in India, they probably sugarcoat a little, you know, like, okay, you'll be fine. There is some surgery you'll be fine. But the incident happened, and then I was taken to the hospital. The minute he checked my eye, he said, sorry, buddy, I think you lost your eye.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Like,
it was just brutal.
Yeah.
I was like, just in the state of shock, and I didn't know what to do. And so he said, I will do a minor surgery tomorrow, get some rest. I'm like, how do I get some rest? You know, how do I sleep now after this shocking statement? But yeah, I had to. I came to terms with that within 1 or 2 days. I realized I went through all the actors who have been, had eye injury, and then I found few, and then I was okay, I can get through this. The second one, the spinal one, I don't know why I was doing it. On the trampoline, I was trying to do backflip, and then I snapped my spinal cord. And that time it was kind of serious, more serious than the previous one, because anything could have happened. You know, I could have gone to a vegetable state, or doctor could have fixed me. So finally, I met a good doctor. They fixed my spinal. Now I'm, absolutely fine, and I've realized, okay, I need to stop doing all these things.
But how long were you laid up?
For a month. 30 days.
That's not
too bad.
Yeah.
But doctor told me this can be fixed, and you don't have to worry about anything, because it will be double fixed, he said.
Thank God you were not in London.
Yeah. And not in London.
Yeah.
So finally I realized, okay, I shouldn't be doing, and plus age is catching up with me, you know. If an injury happens at 25, 30, your recovery will be faster. But now I'm 39 and 40. So now the recovery is slow, so I need to be careful.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, again, the industry is ageist with women. The industry is also ageist a little bit with men, right? Because there are, like, especially with people who are cast in a certain type of chocolate boy, whatever it is, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So what is the strategy that you have to kind of get past this and start playing like non-age parts, like that parts that do not necessarily depend on, like, for example, one of my favorite movies of yours is Sena Hegde's Katheyondu Shuru Agide, right? But that's also like a yuppie, come back from the thing. Maybe that today, like, you may not like be
Yeah.
able to do that.
Yeah.
So what is your strategy to open up the palette that you can play?
Yeah, so now what I'm playing in Uttarakhand is totally different from what I've done in the past. Completely different. And I'm also playing. I'm not the lead. I'm open to other character roles as well.
Right.
I don't want to just stick around. I don't want to say that okay, I'm just going to be the lead. I don't want to take up projects where I'm not the lead. So now this is one of the strategies that I'm using. If the role is good, if I can make the audience laugh or clap, I'll take up that role, even if it's just for 5 minutes or 10 minutes role. Like I did a cameo in a movie called Hostel Hudugru that became a hit. Yeah, so I have played a 5-minute role in the film, but people liked it. People clapped for my role.
Yeah.
So I'm ready. I'm open for that. And through that channel, I am trying to tell the audience that I can do much more than what I've been doing.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think another great example is Dhananjay. Because he's like sometimes he's negative, sometimes the hero, sometimes he does a small role.
Absolutely.
It's really interesting how people are structuring their careers these days. And he himself said that when he took up the negative role in Tagore movies, people told him, "Are you sure you want to be doing this?" Because then people will brand you as a villain and this and that and all that. But no such thing happened, because after that, Bada Rascal happened and
became a hit.
A hit. Yeah. So I think it's more the perception.
Exactly.
Because than the reality. I don't think people care, right?
Right.
I don't think the audiences really care.
Yeah.
They don't, right?
They don't. Sure. Yeah. Thanks to all these pan-India movies and globalization and a lot of Kannada heroes are not only Kannada heroes. They're ready to play negative roles in other industry.
Right.
May not be in the Kannada industry, but they're ready to play a negative in the other. So I think it's a good improvement, development in the industry.
Yeah. I read a statement of yours where you said that I'm a very big critic of my own work, but I'm very happy with my performance in Marigold.
Yeah.
What are some of the other films that have made you happy as an actor?
I don't know. While doing, I didn't think that it was a great experience in Pancharangi, movie with Nidhi Subbaiah, and of course Yogaraj Bhatt directed it. So he has a very peculiar way of talking. Then he'll be talking to himself, and then he always uses plural. There is no singular. Table-galu, bottle-galu, light-galu, camera-galu, new-galu. So he's like a weirdo. But I didn't think that I've done a great job while shooting, while filming. But then when I watched the film, I was like, okay, yeah, not bad. People are liking what I've done. And yeah, so that could be another film that I've liked of mine.
Right. So what is it about Marigold that you liked? What did you hit some dramatic range, for instance, that you hadn't done before?
Yeah. So my director was so particular about my body language and the way I delivered the lines. We were shooting in Chitradurga, close to Bangalore. Its temperature is really high, like 42 degrees, and then we are shooting. And he's like, no, 5th, 6th, 7th take, and he's like, no, I want it in a particular way. Then I started getting into that role. And when I watched the film, I was like, yeah, okay, all the hard work paid off. Otherwise, if I thought the first take was okay or the second one was okay, I wouldn't have given this kind of, performance.
Right.
And everyone loved it. Everyone loved that performance. And then I did something with the body language and the way I spoke, said my lines. It was different. So that made me happy. That movie, although it didn't become a blockbuster, but yeah, that made me happy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sometimes you sign a big movie, like you were supposed to, star with Vijay Deverakonda in this film called Hero. And it was.
We shot for 10 days.
Oh, you shot for 10 days?
Yeah,
okay.
we shot for 10
and
days.
And then it gets shelved.
Yeah.
How do you deal with things like that?
I know, and more than anything, it was about bike race. I love bikes. I literally, I'm a biker. I'm an avid rider. And the movie was all about bike race. And I felt really bad, that hurt me so much. But at the same time, they sent us, before the movie started, they sent both Vijay and me to Coimbatore. They trained us on the racetrack. So they trained us for 5 days, and then we had training from the best number one in India. His name is Rajni Krishnan. So he trained us, and that was the best part. I was super happy. but then I really felt bad that didn't take off, you know.
Yeah.
Those things happen all the time.
Right, but actually now I'm feeling less sorry for you because you actually had a great time.
Yeah, I had a great time. And like, you know, Buddh Circuit, it's in Delhi. We shot there for 3 or 4 days. And it's the F1 track in India, the only F1 track. And there we got to ride our favorite motorcycles. So I really don't regret it.
Yeah, it sounds like a really interesting project.
Yeah.
So
I know, I wish it happens someday.
yeah. So
And it's, of course, Maitri Films, you know, they're very big. I wanted to work with them.
Yeah. So with everyone going this pan-India way, are you also looking for maybe something like that?
I'm not really looking for it, but if it happens, let it happen, you know. I'm in that zone right now.
Right. And finally, if I were to ask you to name 5 films of yours to non-Kannada audience you'd like them to be exposed to, which would those be?
I think Galipata is one. Not Galipata 2, Galipata 1. That's my favorite. And of course, Manassare and Pancharangi and Kate Ondu Shuruvagide. And wait for Uttarakhanda and Powder.
Nice.
Yeah.
So waiting for Powder.
Yeah.
All the best.
Thank you so much.
Hola! Your dream vacation to Vietnam starts from rupees 39,999 only with GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.